guys, and welcome back to another episode of I Think She's Pretty podcast. And today we're going to be talking about moving out, that big moment where you get to do what you want to do. You get to walk around your house naked. Can't nobody tell you nothing. And while that's all fun, it is hard, and I'm here to put y'all on to some things that I wish that I knew before moving out in my early 20s and just giving y'all some tips along the way. But before we get started, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and make sure that you're following the podcast on all streaming platforms so that you are notified when a new episode is uploaded. And now that we have all of that cute stuff out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so let me give y'all a little bit of a background story about me moving into my first apartment. So, long story short, I was living with my mom until age 23. Shout out to her. I was blessed enough to have a mother that still allowed me to stay home even after I graduated high school. And that really set me up for success financially and also giving me an opportunity to finish college. I was in community college and I also received my associate's degree as well while I was there. So, Mom, you the GOAT. And so while I was there, I did help my mom, but if I'm being completely honest with y'all, there was no budget for me. I did what I wanted with my money. I spent very carelessly. I ate whatever I wanted. I did whatever I wanted. And that was mainly what my paychecks really went to. Of course, I paid my bills, but girl, my money went toward food. I love to eat, y'all. I am a Starbucks fanatic. I will drop a bag on some food. Ask anybody that know me. I love food. COVID pushed back everything, so it was just better for me to just stay home and obviously be safe. And ultimately, I ended up moving out in July of 2022. And even though the experience was definitely fun, it was eye-opening as a new adult. So going into my move, it was definitely an eye-opener. I definitely had to put on my big girl panties because, mom is not there. Nobody can save you. These are your bills, these are your problems, and this is the choice that you made. So fast forward to today, I am now 25, and the journey has been definitely a roller coaster. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm having fun, okay? This is a freedom that I never thought I would see. I moved in the summer of 2022 in July, and ever since then, don't get me wrong, it's been so amazing, so peaceful, and so fun to be out on your own, having your own place. But it is hard, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about the nitty-gritty. We're going to talk about the not so fun stuff. But before we get started with the very first thing that I want to go over, I just want to say, if you're in a position to stay home, please stay home. I know that there is this big emphasis in this society, this generation, whatever you want to call it, that you have to move out after you graduate, which you are age 17 or 18 at the time. No, you do not. I wish I could tattoo it on my head. No, you do not. You do not have to move out as soon as you graduate, because guess what? You're not grown. Okay, get mad if you want. You're not grown. You don't know what it's like out here. You're still a baby. You literally just hatched. So if you're in a position to where you can stay home, please stay home. Okay, don't let these people get you all tied up and messed up, okay? Because I had that mindset for a little bit. I was in a rush. I thought I had to hurry up and move out. I had to hurry up and be an adult. And no, you do not. You're new here. We're all new here, okay? And especially being 18, you are literally the runt of the bunch. Like, you are not even 20 yet. So don't feel discouraged if you're still at home. If you're in your 20s and you're still at home, stay home. With inflation, it is hard out here. People are literally shacking up. You got exes living together just to pay the rent, okay? Stay home if you can. Like I said previously, this episode is just really touching on what I wish I knew before moving out in my early 20s. Now, in the beginning, I told you that my finances, they were horrible. I had no sort of budget. I just kind of spent as I went, and I had no discipline. Money and discipline does not equal me at all. But ever since I moved out, I had to make a decision. It was either spend like crazy and possibly live in your car, or be a little bit more mindful, be smarter, and actually look at what you're spending and actually put a budget to things. So for budgeting, a couple of things that I did, I first wrote down all of my bills and I put them in categories. So I put the house bills, so meaning like your lights, gas, things of that nature. That's in a category by itself. And I put my personal bills in another category, which is my insurance, my car note, and then I have another category which I just call miscellaneous, and that's basically your groceries, your entertainment, things of that nature. So I like to write down what everything costs slash what I want to spend on that particular thing. So for groceries, I have a particular number that I like to spend when I go to the grocery store. And of course, you want to make sure that all these things align with your paycheck so that way everything is getting paid on time. Because let me tell you something, and we're going to revisit this. Paying your bills on time is essential, and I'm going to tell you why later. And after all of your bills are paid, remember to always put some back for yourself, because you're gonna look up and you're gonna be like, hey, I got this much amount extra left. I can go buy those pairs of shoes that I want. I can go get my hair done. I can go get my nails done. I can go and do this activity. When it comes to taking care of yourself with the things that I just mentioned, also put those things in your budget. Those things are in my budget, but honestly, if the money is there, it's there, and if it's not, it's not. Sad reality of living by yourself, because when I was with my mom, baby, the lashes, they stayed done. The nails, they stayed done. Okay, baby? Especially the nails, they stayed done. So if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. And that is totally okay. And budgeting is just super important anyway, so that way you get to see where your money is going. I know for me, that was something that I was not doing when I was living at home. I did not write down anything. I was just going off the Lord. Wherever I went and I swiped my debit card and it said approved, I was thanking the Lord above, because most of the time I did not know what I had in my account. And I can really honestly sit here and say that. I know some people are embarrassed of that, but I'm not embarrassed, because it is what it is. And I'm not the perfect saver, but that's where you live and you learn and you figure it out. But overall, with budgeting, you're gonna thank yourself later, because like I said, you're gonna look up and you'll be able to buy something that you really want, or you just have extra money to just kind of linger, either way. Or like me, I got extra money left over. Y'all gonna catch me at Chick-fil-A. Okay, that's on period. Okay, so next we're gonna be talking about bills. So we just previously kind of touched on it, but I really wanted to get into bills because I don't think people really realize how serious these companies are about their money. Let me put y'all on real quick. I know y'all thinking you didn't know bills was serious, then you paid bills at your mom's house. No, I paid my own personal bills when I was living with my mom. And of course, because I had the money, it was, always paid on time, always done. But when you get out on your own, things may not align perfect. Something may be a little late or collide with another bill. Life throws you curveballs. And sometimes you have to learn how to maneuver those things. And when your due date come, these companies, they don't care. They don't care how they get your money. They just want their money. It's really giving big worm off of Friday, because they want their money and they want it now. So always try your best to be on time with your bills. What I like to do, and it's not very often, but I do like to kind of save up. Of course, after I pay my other bills, I like to save up what I have. And instead of going out to eat or things of that nature, I'll just pay the bill 2 months in advance, 3 months in advance. If you can, rack your bills up to where they're already paid for. So that way you don't have to, keep worrying about a due date. You already paid it for 3 months. You don't have to worry about it. Another reason why you should really take your bills serious and always pay them on time or even pay them early is because it goes on your credit report. We all want to be in some sort of big, gorgeous house one day. I know I do. And not even just a house. I just want to eventually move out of my apartment, period. You just naturally want a bigger space. And if you create a family, you definitely need bigger space. And when you go to these leasing offices and they look at your renter's history and they look at your credit score, they want to see good things. They want to see a fair/good credit score. They want to see good renter's history. They want to see that you're not a problematic tenant. And that is where your bills come from, okay? Just always plan on where you're trying to rent from or where you're trying to buy from. They are going to run your credit report and they are going to look at your renter's history. And if either of those things have an issue with them, it could potentially disqualify you from being able to rent out a certain apartment, townhome, duplex, home, whatever you desire. And another thing, I also like to set myself reminders on my calendar in my phone. I like to put the bill on the date where it is due, and then I also set a reminder as well. So that day it will remind me in the morning, like, hey, this bill is due today, or whatever. Just basically try to come up with a system to where you know where your money is going at all times, and also make sure that where your money is going is also getting there on time. This also goes for grace periods as well. Before we move on, I just wanted to press on that too. Grace periods, they're great, they're good, and please use them if you absolutely need to. But if you are just being flat out lazy and you just don't feel like paying something and you're just using your grace period for fun, do not do that, because it does affect your credit score. Now, this last thing that I wanted to touch on with you guys is personal to me, because I was struggling when I first moved out. If I'm being completely transparent and honest with you guys, I was so sad, y'all. I cried. So let me take y'all back real quick. I was in my car going to go grab some food as usual, and I just busted out crying, y'all. I think I had only been in my apartment for about 3 days, and I lost it in the car. I wanted to go back home, if I'm being completely honest. I thought about going back home. I was homesick. I really missed my mom and I missed my sister. It had just been us for so long. And, seeing these people every day, it was an adjustment to not seeing them every day. Of course, I wrestled with myself on going back home, and I wrestled in my mind, like, maybe this wasn't the best decision. Maybe I should have stayed home. Maybe I wasn't ready. But of course, with prayer and just believing in myself, within a couple of weeks, I was just fine. And what I did to counteract those feelings, I just kept myself busy. I decided to clean. I listened to podcasts a lot. I decided to take up coloring. I just decided to do things that make me feel good and make me feel fuzzy and warm on the inside. And those things really, really helped. And I know that if I went through it, I know someone else is going through it. So if you ever feel like you're homesick, or you ever feel like, you're reconsidering your decision, don't. You are doing just fine. It's okay to be a little homesick. It's okay to have those feelings, but don't hold yourself back because you're scared, is what I'm trying to say. And I forgot to say something else I did to counteract those feelings and deal with those emotions. I just simply texted and called my mom and my sister. So just always stay in communication with your family at all times, and eventually it'll be okay. You'll start to kind of mellow out and things will become a little easier. I wouldn't feel right if I left and I ain't tell y'all this, but something was just put on my heart just now to let y'all know. Please do not let everybody in your house, okay? Everybody is not meant to be in your home. And I'm saying that because I've seen people feel like they're obligated to let people come over, or they're obligated to let their home be a revolving door. And let me tell you something. No, ma'am. You don't have to let anyone come over. You choose who you let in your house, and you choose what goes down in your home, okay? I am a big proponent of energy. Everybody don't deserve your energy, and everybody energy don't need to be in your home. And furthermore, the society and the generation we live in, people got sticky fingers. People have sticky fingers. Your home is supposed to be your sanctuary. It's supposed to be your relaxation. It's supposed to be your getaway. And don't let others come in and disrespect that. You are the leader. You decide what goes in and what goes out of your home. And if you want it to be a peaceful place, make it a peaceful place. Don't be afraid to tell people, no, you cannot come over. No, I do not want company. Don't be afraid to tell people, take your shoes off at the door. That's something else. I don't give a damn. You get upset, you can leave. Take your shoes off before you come in my home. I do not play that. I don't like people walking around in my house with shoes. It is utterly disgusting. The way that I think about it is I took time furnishing this apartment. I took time and money on this apartment, and I'm going to make it as peaceful and as relaxing as I can. And if that means I never have any company, I am totally okay with that. You have to know that you earned it and that your apartment is yours, and it's okay to hide in it. I'm just gonna say it. It's okay to hide in it. I love being at home. I am such a homebody. I hate when I have to leave my home. I really, really do. I love to just sit in my living room and turn on some TV or work on my podcast. It's just a vibe when I'm at home, okay? That's what I'm basically trying to say. Make your home a vibe, okay? I get excited to go home. That is so ridiculous, but I literally get so excited when it's time for me to go home wherever I'm at because it's just such a vibe. This episode, of course, I love chit-chatting with you guys. And if you would like me to go further in depth with furnishing and all the things I did leading up into actually moving into my apartment, leave me a comment down below and we can definitely sit and talk about it. Also, make sure that you head on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast, and make sure that you listen to my other episodes. There are 17 other episodes, and I would love if you gave it a listen. Thank you once again for sitting and talking with me. I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye.